I'm Chef Dave, and this is our first episode of In the House with Chef Dave. Today, we are cooking schnitzel with baked potatoes, broccoli with a cheese sauce, and a garden salad with a homemade sweet vinaigrette. Enjoy the show, and bon appetit! Now, we're going to cut the romaine. I'm going to show you how to cut romaine. Romaine should be cut from the side like this, right here. Like this. Right here. And then we go crossways. Like this right here. This will give you perfect squares. Not exactly perfect, but they will be close to perfect. We cut it up just like this. Now I'm going to cut it all the way down to the core. When I get down to the core, we're going to slice the sides like this. So we use all of your romaine except for the core. There we go, and that's how we're going to cut the romaine. Now this is going to go in a salad bowl like this for mixing. Right here, when we make the dressing and everything, we're going to add that to it. Now, after getting this together right here, we're going to go ahead and cut a red onion up to add to it. On cutting a red onion, and depending on what size you want and what shape, if you want julienne, if you want diced, there's different ways to do an onion. I'm going to cut these julienne style, which is a half moon. Now, cutting a half moon, I'm going to peel this peel off right here. I'm going to try to use every bit of the onion that I can. So we're going to peel this right here. We're going to go sideways on this. We're going to cut it down the edge like this right here. And that would be julienne style. We're going to cut enough for the salad here, and we're going to mix the mushrooms and the carrots together. And that will give us our salad. And then we're going to make our really good vinaigrette dressing I make. Very simple, very easy to make in no time. I'll turn this way. And that is julienne style right there. And if you look at the half moon shape, that's what it should look like. And there we go. And we're going to add that into our lettuce. Just like that. Kind of breaking it up a little bit. Right there. With the mushrooms and the carrots, we add those to the salad. That's going to give us our color, which we want all the different colors in the salad. It's like a festive type, because the meal we're cooking is going to be a German, part Italian meal. Okay, now we're going to add our mushrooms, like this. They're already chopped and stuff. And let's add some of these carrots. We're not going to go crazy with them. Even though I do need some better eyesight. Carrots do help you with your eyesight. Supposedly. It's supposed to preserve it. Oh, add a little more. There we go. And we got our mixture of salad right here. And that's that. And we're going to make our dressing for our salad. It's relatively an easy dressing. It's a Italian dressing. Just a vinaigrette that I like to make. We're going to use a white balsamic vinegar. We're going to pour a little bit of that in there. I would say probably about a half a cup. Okay. We're going to add some sugar. Probably about a quarter cup of sugar. There. I like to measure just pouring it in. I'm going to add some Italian spices. What we used earlier on the meat, it's basically the same thing. Some salt, pepper, oregano, thyme, basil. Probably about 5 pinches on that. Now we're going to whip in our oil right here. There we go. And I think we got our vinaigrette here. There we go. And that would be our vinaigrette dressing. Now we're going to show you how to cut broccoli. So what I'm going to do is cut the spears like this, right there, and just break them off a little bit here. Like that, right there. One jumped out of the bowl. We'll let it jump out. Didn't want to get cooked, did it? So, put it in a spear and we'll keep it like this. Want to kind of keep the bush part of it, the main part of the broccoli. So what we're doing is we're feeding about 8 to 9 people today. So this is going to have to be a pretty good bit of broccoli. We'll go like this. I would say you probably would fill this bowl up which will probably take about 6 spears of broccoli. And here we go with cutting them all. These like this. You can cut them either way. And we'll put them in there like this. There we go. Got one big tree right there at one time. I'm going to cut that right in half, cut it in a quarter like this, and then cut the middle out like this right there. And that's going to give us our little broccoli trees. If you see them like that, we'll just pull them apart. That's all we really want for this. I'm going to cut out this middle just again like this, right here. And that's going to break it off into little spears right there. Or little broccoli trees. Little bonsai bushes there, don't they? So, mark this one off. I'm going to break them off. Try to get this whole bowl filled up. And we'll have some pretty neat stuff here. We'll get it all done. One more spear to go. I'm going to pull the leaves off, like I said. Make sure you get the leaves. Now, usually I'm going to keep all this stuff right here for vegetable stock. What I do is I fill up a pot and boil water into it with all my vegetable ends, like my carrots, my onions, my peppers, any ends I have, any ends of the broccoli. And it's going to make a really good vegetable stock that you can use for any kind of gravies or sauces you have. And you add a little bit of wine to it. You have a really awesome sauce. And that is how you cut the broccoli spears. So we're going to move on to other stuff now. Now on the potatoes, what we're going to do is we're going to put them in a microwave. I prefer the microwave, especially when I'm cooking, keeps them out of the way. The oven's not going to be hot. It doesn't take as long in the microwave. We're doing 9 potatoes. One potato usually takes 4 to 5 minutes, depending on the size. These are medium-sized potatoes. So we're figuring about 4.5, 5 minutes a piece. You got 9 of them. So basically we're going to put it in there for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to stick them in there. I poked holes with a knife on both sides with a little paring knife. It'll firm the outside and fluff up the inside. So we'll put those in the microwave while we're pounding up the meat for the schnitzel that we're about to cook. And I'm going to set this on baked potato, and we're going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to cook that twice. So. And that's set at 15 minutes and 30 seconds. And then we're going to cook it again at 15 minutes and 30 seconds, whatever reminds me. So now we are going to do the meat. What we do is you get about a 1/2 inch thick piece of meat like this. We're going to pound this out like this right here on both sides. It's going to make it extra soft. And pound it really nice on both sides like that. Try to get the edges right here where the fat is. Once it fries up, it's going to be really good. Nice and thin, juicy meat. That's the way we want it, like that. So, we're going to continue to pound out some meat here. Since we're cooking for 9 people, we're going to actually make 9 pieces of pork tenderloin. Pound it out. Pretty simple. You want to take out your aggression, got an X you're mad at. All you do is pound out some meat. There's wiener schnitzel people make that has a mushroom gravy. Today we're making just a regular schnitzel with pork. Now if you just make schnitzel, it's made with veal, which I prefer pork. It's a lot easier, cheaper, easier to work with, and it's very cost efficient. So that is what we are using today. So once I get done, pound these out. It usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to pound out about 9, 10 pieces of meat. We're going to get some really good pieces here. Pound them out. Now there's 2 sides of pounder. This one right here has like a smaller pounding. It's probably a lot better. If you were pounding some meat like some bottom round or something, you want to use the other edge of the meat. What it does goes deeper into the meat. So, but we're using the little one right here since we got it cut pretty thin. It's going to make some great schnitzel tonight. So, we're going to finish this up here. I think we got about 8 or 9 pieces. see what we got here. After I finish this, I might need one more, I think. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. One more is what we need. Make this perfect meal here for 9 people. Pound that out. Looking good here. Alright. And there we go. We've got 9 beautiful pieces of pork loin. Pork tenderloin, I meant. Very nice. I'm going to lay them out here for you because our next step will be to season them. Right here. And usually what I like to do is I like to season the meat, whether I'm doing chicken, pork, or anything that I'm going to bread. I usually season the meat because it stays inside the meat, because once you put the flour on it, it'll seal it inside and you'll have that seasoning inside. A lot of people put it in the breading, which that's okay, but it just doesn't seem to get the right amount of seasoning inside the meat. So that's the way we're going to do it today. So what I'm going to do is add the seasoning next. It's going to be an Italian seasoning. It's going to have salt, pepper, and garlic, and Italian spices, which probably would be thyme, oregano, and basil. Now we're going to add this in here, just a little bit on the meat like this. Now you don't want to use too much salt. You got less salt in here than normal. And add a little more here. Add a little bit of that. Now I like to season both sides, so we're going to rub this in a little bit. Once I get it on there, just rub it in like this. And then we're going to flip it over. Like that. And I'm going to be eating you in just a little while. Looking good, yep. Let's see. Right. There we go. You notice I didn't put too much seasoning because we're going to season both sides, plus it's very thin meat. It's basically a pinch. About a teaspoon if you want to measure on each piece. And there we go. Now we're going to rub it in. Rub it in, rub it in, rub it in, and rub it, rub it, rub it. And there we go. We're all spiced up and ready. So I'm going to stack these up just like this right here. All 9 pieces. And they're going to go to the breading factory, which we're going to show you how to bread. A standard breading procedure with flour, egg, and breadcrumbs. And that'll be next. Okay, now we are going to bread the pork loin. First I took some eggs here, and I decided to use a fork. This seems a lot easier for me. 5 eggs for 9 pieces of meat. I know it sounds like a lot. So, what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and bread. So this is called a standard breading procedure. You learn this in culinary school if anybody goes to Cordon Bleu. Culinary Institute of America is where I went. Pretty nice school up in New York. And there we're going to bread it completely like that with flour. Get a really good egg wash on it. Make sure it's covered really well. The egg makes it fluff up. Now how you cook a regular egg and it fluffs up. It's going to make this fluff up really nice. Now I'm going to pound this in just a little. How you like that? And then we're going to shake this up there just a little. Put some flour back on here. And we do each separate piece the same way. Add a little flour. We'll go back into the egg again. Make sure you cover it well. Now your fingers are going to get all mushy and all that stuff. You can't help that when you're breading. But it'll take you about 5 or 6 minutes to really get a good job done on this breading. For 9 pieces. Make sure you get a lot of egg wash on it. Dip it back and forth. There we go. Now we're going to go right back in here to the bread crumbs. Pound it out a little. Of course my fingers are getting a little mushy, but you don't want to stop and wipe them off because they're going to get this way anyway, no matter how many pieces you do. So we're going to make sure we get flour on every bit of it. Go back with the egg. Now the reason I haven't put any seasoning or anything in the egg or the flour is we already have seasoning on the meat. And this will seal it very nicely. Oh, there we go. More breadcrumbs. Now, if you notice, they're a whole lot bigger ones they looked like before. And when they cook, they will fluff up really nice, have a nice, soft, fluffy texture to them. So, now, in the background, I got my water boiling. What we're going to do is we're going to blanch off some broccoli for our broccoli and the cheese sauce. We'll blanch off that broccoli. Shouldn't take but a few minutes to blanch it off. We're going to make it kind of al dente, which will be, you know, a little crunch to it. Want some crunch. Also, that'll keep our nutrients in. A lot of people tend to cook it to a mush. Well, there goes all your iron and all your essential vitamins that are in there if you cook it like that. So, what we're going to do is finish up on this breading here, and we're going to check the water, which should be boiling shortly. Got 2 more pieces to bread. Just check the water, it's about to boil. And I never like to watch it. It doesn't never boil when you watch it. That's what people say. Usually water takes about 4 minutes to boil on high. So, I think our 4 minutes is up. And our breading is almost done. There we go. One more piece to bread. And we are going to be done here in just a second. And this is looking really good. It's making me really hungry. Can't wait to eat lunch. There we go. Just a little more egg wash there. Really get it good. Some good breading on it. Pound it in a little. There we go. Alrighty. Now, last piece. Soak it on that. I had it just about right on the eggs. Usually, it takes for a piece of one of these pork loins, I usually use 1 egg for 2 pieces of pork loin. So we were just about right doing 9 pieces. There we go. Alrighty then. And that is it right there. Now, we'll be back in just a minute and we're going to check on the broccoli. Okay. Now we're going to blanch this broccoli here. This is going to be for the broccoli and the cheese sauce. We're going to blanch it for a few minutes. Basically make it where it's a little crunchy, but it's cooked and all the nutrients are still in it. So we got the water boiling. I always keep the pot handles to the outside. If you put this pot handle on this side, you might get a hot pot handle and you might burn your hand grabbing it. So keep them to the outside all the time. It's for safety. So anyway, I add some broccoli here. Out of this bowl, I already, whoop, there we cut up. Whoop, some jumping out. This is twice now it's jumped out. We've had that problem twice. Broccoli just don't want to cook, does it? But we're going to go ahead and make about 5 handfuls right here. That should be enough. There we go. We're going to let that boil for a minute. Right there. And it shouldn't take long at all. Since it was already boiling to begin with. Now, if you look at it, it'll turn like a dark green. But anyway, right here, go. We're going to do this right here, smash it down a little. Get all the tops of it done right here. We're not going to blanch it very long at all. Just as long as when it comes back up to a boil, it'll be just right. So, okay. There we go. Blanch it off. Okay. So after we get it through blanching it, what we're going to do is we're going to strain it through the strainer over the sink and be real careful not to burn ourselves at all. And now that the broccoli is finished, we're going to cut the oven off, or stove, and then we're going to take the broccoli. If you look at it, it's really a bright green, so, and the water is still clear, so all the nutrients are still in the broccoli. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the sink. I'm going to pour it in there, like this. There we go. Put it all nice and blanched off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same pot to make the cheese sauce. I'm going to put this broccoli right back in. We're going to make cheese sauce in the same pot. So, there we go. Potatoes for 15 more minutes. So, put 4 pieces on there. We'll start it. Before it was 15 minutes and 30 seconds. We got another 15 minutes and 30 seconds. We should have baked potatoes ready. We're going to use the same bowl that we have here. We're going to put 2 sticks of butter in it. Like this. This is going to make our cheese sauce. We're going to use half of this sour cream here, which would be probably a little more than a cup. That's that butter. 2 sticks of butter. Remember that. There we go. Sour cream. What we do is we put 2.5 to 3 cups of cheese right there. And I'm going to grab my whisk. Make sure I wash it off a little. I'm going to whisk this in right here. Put it back on high. Now this is going to take approximately about 5 minutes to melt, and what's going to happen is the cheese on it is going to come up to a liquefied state. It's not going to be real cheesy like, but it's going to be more liquidy. And you would think with all this cheese in it, it would be nice and cheesy, but it's going to make a really good cheese sauce to go over the broccoli, a real light sauce. So we'll just mix it in here. And what we're going to do is when this is through, we are just going to pour it right over our broccoli in the bowl. So in the meantime, while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and make our schnitzel. Now we've gone through the breading procedure, the pounding out of the meat and all that stuff, and we're going to cut this on and warm up our stove. I'm going to leave it on about a medium high. Our oil should be at about the depth of the schnitzel. So if you look at the schnitzel is about, I'd say about 1/4 inch. So you want the depth of the oil to be about a little over 1/4 inch. So, and we'll get back to you in just a minute. Now that our cheese sauce is liquefied, as you can see, it doesn't even stick to the whisk at all. We're going to take the cheese sauce and pour it over this. This cheese sauce is really easy. You can make it with any kind of sour cream, but light sour cream. You don't really want to use that. Yeah, we want to make this really good, so you want a good sour cream. And the cheese that I put in it, I put mild cheddar. You could put sharp cheddar. You could use jalapeno jack cheese, whatever you want. And the butter, I use light salted butter. Or you can use unsalted, as long as it's real butter. I'm going to use real products here. So, I'm going to pour this cheese sauce right on top. If you see how liquidy it is, I'm going to pour it right on top of the broccoli. There we go. We got plenty of cheese sauce. And how's a broccoli with cheese sauce? I'm going to take this pan and put it away. So right now, I'll put this over here to the side. I'll put this plate here for when the schnitzel's done. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 pieces in there at once. Now they only take about 2 minutes to cook. So let's get it on one side there like this. I usually use a fork, it's just habit. You'll see how quick they cook. Usually don't take long at all. There we go, looking good. Oh, that's looking nice there. So about 9 pieces, probably going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes to cook. What I did was take a paper towel, put it on a plate. We're going to move that over there in just a second. It's done. Now if you poke your schnitzel like this and look at the top, if you see any red come out or any, you'll see that it is not done if it comes out, but evidently these are done already. That's how quick they cook. Doesn't take long at all, does it? Probably up to a minute. Now both sides looking good. Oh, we got a little grease there, didn't we? That's all right. We'll wipe that up in just a second. All right, I'm gonna take my plate here, put the schnitzel on it. I'm gonna cook up the rest real quick. Stop real quick and wipe this down. Let's see this towel. We don't want any extra fires or anything. So, get that right there. Alrighty. Now let's get the rest of this right here. There we go. 2 at a time. We have 9 people eating lunch, so I'm going to cut our baked potatoes back on, which remember I did them on a microwave. Go ahead and start them up again. They are done, but we're going to warm them up. Let's start that up. There we go. Start them up. I'm going to warm them up for everyone. Now, well, these are cooking nice, and they look good. I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy these. I just got a few more to cook. And this is how you cook lunch for 9 people. At a very reasonable price. Probably cost a total of maybe $20. We add everything together. And that's for schnitzel, baked potatoes, a salad, and a broccoli and a cheese sauce. We're doing just good here. We're going to turn the temperature up just a little. Going. Looks like we're getting done here. Move that over there. Just a few more to cook. You know, I remember my mom cooking this all the time in Germany. She cooked so much schnitzel. I got really tired of it. But I don't ever get tired of it now. I can eat all day. We used to take the leftovers, make schnitzel sandwiches, make schnitzel salad. We did everything with schnitzel. So, anyway, we're almost done here. We got just a few more pieces, more minutes. And check it like that, like I told you. Make sure that it's cooked inside. Back over. Those pieces are looking nice. There we go. That one. A few more pieces and we're done. Now usually cooking for 9 people takes a long time. You can probably do this whole meal in under 45 minutes. And usually most of the meals that I do take under that. You can cook up for up to 10 people in under 45 minutes. It's looking good there. Let's get a few more pieces and we're done. We're going to be eating. Oh, we're going to go ahead and turn this off. This should be done here. There's another piece done. Let's get this down here. Alright, flip this over. Well, we're almost ready to eat. Just a few more minutes there and we'll be ready to go. Put that, make sure it's done. And it looks like it is. And we'll put that in there. Okay, now just one more piece and we are done. Like I said, I like to clean as I go, so We will put that in there. We'll take this plate and wash it off. And we do have an audience right here. Everybody watching, and they will be eating it very shortly. So just mixing this off. This is going to be for potatoes. We're going to get another paper towel here real quick. Take these baked potatoes out while those are cooking, which are ready now. Put those on there like this for everyone to grab. We're going to make a plate to show you what it looks like. And there we go. Got that done. 2 more flips. And we are done cooking for 9 people. So, put these on there and we'll be done. Looks good to me. Nice and brown. We got a pile full here. Let that last piece cook just a little longer. There's always one that wants to just linger about. So anyway, here we go. Flip it. Looks like it's getting done. Put it inside. No blood. So we are going to cut the stove off. And we are done. There we go. And this is our finished product. Our salad with vinaigrette dressing, our schnitzel with a little lemon on top, our broccoli with a little cheese sauce, and our baked potato. Bon appetit. Only thing that's missing is a bottle of wine, and we got that, and we're about to open that and eat. Good. Okay. This is our first episode with In the House with Chef Dave, and I want to thank the Washington family. Thank you very much, and bon appetit.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, let's sit and eat.
Let's eat. Oh, this is good. I need to see what kind this is.
You may contact us at celebritychefdave@gmail.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel.